Hey people, I have a question. As always, as usual, are you an empath? Are you an empath? Okay, so you say you are. What does it mean? You can feel other people's emotions and pain and stuff like that, right? Why can you do it? And why does it make you different to other people or special or unique? I don't know. Probably not a very common opinion or perspective, I'd rather say, because it's not really an opinion. It's more of a perspective that I stumbled upon through my experiences of being an empath. Okay? I'll explain to you what my understanding of an empath is. If you are aware of yourself to any degree, right? You're aware of the fact that you have emotion. Let's just start with the most simplest thing. You're aware of the fact that you are this human being that you're living through, right? Everyone can relate to that because everyone has a body and everyone has their own individual perspective of the world, right? So you're aware of that fact. Okay. Then there are people who are aware of their emotions, right? Those people that are aware of their emotions are called emotionally aware, emotionally intelligent, actually. That's what they say. They're emotionally intelligent. Those people that are not emotionally intelligent, do you know what that means? It means they lack the awareness of their own emotions, right? What does that mean? Why and how can someone lack the emotional intelligence? Well, they've never really sat and actually thought and felt and experienced their emotions. So they haven't sat and explored. I feel this thing, it feels uncomfortable because as soon as the discomfort comes, they push it aside, distract themselves, start working really like hard, start going on social media, scrolling, the death scroll, whatever they call it, playing computer, whatever, going traveling, just anything to avoid that discomfort. That discomfort that you're avoiding is the awareness that you would develop of your emotions. So you become more emotionally intelligent, more aware of your emotions. So the same thing, when you're young, if you're in an environment that requires you to be ultra hyper sensitive to your surroundings, if you have to be aware of what's going on around you in an emotional sense, you have people around you that are very explosive with how they deal with their emotions. They don't deal with their emotions in an emotionally intelligent way, right? You become hyper aware, is what they say, right? You become very aware of other people's emotions. How? By their facial expressions, their body language, the tone of voice. You start to understand other people's behavior, body language, and voice expressions, and you understand the emotion that comes with that kind of behavior because what you have had to learn to survive that experience. What does it mean? It doesn't mean someone was like trying to get rid of you, or it doesn't necessarily mean that it was like a traumatizing, like that someone physically or mentally or emotionally was doing it to you. It could just be around you. But because you're in that environment, you had to be aware of it to understand what's going on, to know where and how to position yourself to be, comfortable with where you are in a very heightened environment. So that's what an empath is in my perspective. It's someone who's become very aware of other people's emotions, and with that perspective comes the other part of it, which is we have control over it. So empaths who feel and believe that they have no control and they just tap into other people's emotions, you can develop the control of it. And the way you develop the control of it is basically becoming more aware of your center, of your stable point in yourself. You don't take on other people's stuff. It's not your responsibility. It's not your problem. Even if you care about those people, you can't make people feel a certain way. You can influence them, you can encourage them, and you can try to force them, but ultimately what ends up happening is it causes more discomfort, not just for them, but also for yourself. So as a empath, I also can pick up on it. I can see someone's facial expression and not just know what emotion they feel, but actually understand what kind of experience they had too. But it doesn't overwhelm me, and it's only there if I choose to acknowledge it, because I choose what I am aware of. I choose what I experience because I am aware of how I walk through life. So I'm not saying that I know everything, or that I never get overwhelmed by anything, but what I'm saying is, if you believe you're an empath and you can't control it, then you can't. But if you believe you're an empath and understand that empathy is a state of being and understanding, and that you choose whether you want to be and understand somebody else's emotions, then you give yourself the power to be able to choose to no longer do that. In simplistic terms that I can put it in. So this is how I understand it. This is how I've experienced it, and this is my perspective. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's real, but it's real to me. It's my truth. Why do I say that? Because I've lived it, I've done it, I've experienced it. So now I have the understanding of what I went through, where I started and where I got to through that process. And that process unfolded in the way that I've just explained to you. So if you feel overwhelmed and like it's a curse, right? Because people say it's like a blessing and a curse. Some people just say it's a curse, and I say it's a blessing. So if you do feel like that and you struggle with it, I just want to share with you that you don't have to struggle with it. You can change it. It is a possibility, because I've done it too. So just be aware of yourself. It's the same thing all the time. Just be aware. Just be aware. And it's knowing and understanding where to place your awareness, which perspectives to look from to help navigate to where you're working towards. And if you no longer want to be overwhelmed as an empath, as someone who is aware of other people's emotions, then you can learn to become aware of how to choose which emotions you become aware of and which ones you don't. And that starts with looking inwards, not outwards. You don't try and shut people out of you, you try to connect more to you. And then when you feel that from somebody else, instead of trying to shut it off, you just connect back to you. It's just you coming back to yourself. An empath's curse is an opportunity for self-realization, self-awareness, and it's like an anchor point. You can use it to come back to you. So I thought I'd share this because this has helped me, and if it could help anybody else, why not? Peace, people.